Let's have a look at the grid for race 3, the third and final, which is, of course, their finishing order. Lowndes and Seaton off the front row. Bright and Radicic. That was a terrific drive from 13th to 4th. Some hard going with some fast competitors inside that top 10. Crompton, Longhurst, Richards and Scape are the top 8, the first 4 rows.
Dick Johnson and Russell Ingall out of row 5. Cameron McLean, very fast privateer with Paul Romano alongside in row 6. John Faulkner and Mark Larkham out of 7. Steve Reed and Larry Perkins will start out of 8.
Ingall from 30th to 10th. That was an outstanding effort. Donoghue, McDougall, Nash, Nathan Pretty, Mark Noski, who had an altercation with Greg Murphy, we found out, and Jason Barbagallo with some problems too, possibly due to that contact with John Bow.
Alan Heath and Danny Miller out of 13. Greg Murphy, boy, he got in the wars today. He's back out of 27. Jeff Kendrick alongside. Garth Tander, another of the locals, caught up in that accident with Larry Perkins. And Brett Peters alongside in the colour scan Ford. Big field of V8s here for the final.
And word just through, Mark, that Brett Peters, who is, of course, standing in for Danny Osborne in the colour scan Ford, is out of this one. On board with Scaife, there he is, getting himself set, the third and final 20-lapper. There's Glenn Seaton. Gee, a big improvement from the AU XR8 this weekend, guys.
Oh, yeah, it's good, and the great thing about it is if you look at the latter stage of the race, that's when Seaton's thing really comes into his own.
Dick Johnson, who is suffering again from sinus problems. He's a little bit frustrated with that. We're getting ready, green at the back. Here we go, last race of the day, last race for round 3. Lowndes will need to get away to a good one here. Seaton will be hungry for a win. In WA, away we go. Seaton gets a little crossed up off the line. Looks like a fairly even run. He's got him. Great start. Glenn Seaton will lead him into the first turn. Then there's contact.
Look, Dick Johnson.
He's turned sideways.
Oh, no.
No idea who hit him. They all try and dodge him the best they can.
Oh, they did too. Talk about threading the needle. Boy, oh boy, Dick Johnson's last appearance in WA, and that's not the way he wanted to get off. Darcy Russell in trouble there too, but Dick was very, very lucky not to get hit. But look at that start by Glenn Seaton. You can see how well the car launched off the line. I was very surprised he had managed to get in front of Lowndes.
Well, do you know, he and Neil Crompton spent a full day at Calder Park recently practicing their starts. It has obviously paid off.
Oh, Dick Johnson in all sorts of trouble. He's going to put that one away for the day, I'd say. That's a real shame. It's a bad way to tail out his career, but Glenn Seaton now feeling the heat from Craig Lowndes. The dominant force at Barbagallo Raceway this weekend, but Seaton's done it. The Ford fans are cheering on pit straight as he's got Craig Lowndes right up behind him. Great start in the FTR XR8.
I think if Seaton can hold off Lowndes, it's getting close. If he can hold him off for a couple of laps, because then Seaton's thing really seems...
Oh, look at that up the inside.
Oh, boy, there was a lot of room there. That was good move on Lowndes' behalf, especially when you think there was all grass and mud across the inside of the circuit. You have a look here.
Yeah, there's a lot of dirt and garbage. Here we go.
Oh, right. Now, let's see if we can see Whack DJ up the back.
Oh, now someone hit
DJ up the backside. And then your guess is as good as mine.
But how lucky was he? Look at those cars. They're coming through at well over 100 kilometres an hour. And Johnson...
Watch. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
now, there's no doubt about that. That was a little bit of a surprise, wasn't it? So DJ...
Tell you what, his eyeballs nearly fell out of their sockets there too.
Look who's directly behind him. See who it is. Cameron
No, it's Tony Longhurst.
Tony Longhurst from the left there. Collided with Dick Johnson. McLean did a brilliant job to avoid contact there.
Well, that was a graphic indication of the impact there. You can see Dick Johnson.
Poor old JB nearly got involved in it as well.
See Dick Johnson's face when he got hit there. It gave him a major shock. Tony Longhurst went in for a wheel change apparently from that
Radicic,
impact.
Look at this, right behind Brighty.
And Crompton was in front of Paul Radicic. Escape!
That's, I'd be interested to see if Russell gave him a bit of Liberace there.
Dear oh dear. Boys are starting to throw the elbows out in heat 3.
Mark Scape is left sitting on the inside, and whether he can get out of there is the question. Let's hope he can.
Oh, he will be
back on track now.
It's close.
Just misses Daniel Miller, but Mark Scape back out on the track after spinning there. Now here is the damage on Dick Johnson's shell AU XR8, and it's not the way that Dick wanted to say goodbye to Western Australia.
Let's put the traveller.
Yeah, really put the wind up. And look at this big run down the inside by Glenn Seaton, now lapping Tony Longhurst after that early pit stop. Wheel damage apparently. So Seaton, after getting caught by Lowndes in turn 1, look at the amount of space he's put on him. 1.4 seconds the last time around. Trying to find his way around the lapped Longhurst Falcon. Let's have a look at the Shell Helix replay. So Scaife getting tapped around from behind, you can see that.
Definitely a tap there. Let's have a look here and see if that can only been Russell, I think, was right behind him.
Russell might have been getting a bit of pressure from one of the Wins
one
cars.
of the Wins cars, yeah. It's impossible to say that. There was contact, but who calls what to start with? Your guess is as good as mine. You'd have to say that it didn't look like the Wins car was up Eagle's bottle, did it, really?
I think that was a reaction after Scaife spun in front of Russell Ingall. But Mark Scaife is back out and at him. He had to do it tough in race 2. Race 3 is the same.
Just tell you what, don't let this bloke get in front. Well, 2.4 seconds he's opened up after 3 laps. Phenomenal speed from Seaton in that opening tour, but once he got past, look at how he's gapped the field.
Look at the 3 forwards behind it going.
It's a good showing by Ford. Radisich has got the inside on Bright. This is a good move. The 18 Shell Helix Ford, he's there. It's tight through turn 1. Radisich won't give in, and he's got the more preferred line. Bright drifts wide. So Radisich is now up into the top 3. It is Lowndes, Seaton, Radisich. Bright back to 4th, and Russell Ingall is up into 5th position. Now Neil Crompton seems to have dropped back to 8th. He was up in the top 5.
Look how quick Radisich is pulling in Glenn Seaton.
I'll tell you what, Tony Longhurst is a lap car here. And he's going into battle with Glenn Seaton at the moment. Seaton won't be appreciating. But the 38-year-old New Zealander, Paul Radisich, gee, he's been impressive in the Shell Ford this weekend. Let's have a look at that replay.
Well, you'd have to say that he got a tap from Russell by what we've seen there, but only Russell would know and only Mark would know. But the look on Scaife's face, he's definitely got a tap to start.
This will be interesting to see how this pans out with Longhurst, who is a lap down, sitting in front of Seaton with Radisich right on Seaton, and then you've got Russell Ingall coming up right on Jason Bright. This is good stuff. Basically,
Tony should get out of the way. You know, he's not in his being lapped, and he shouldn't be in amongst it, mixing it when you're being lapped. But having said that, they're not catching him on it, really.
Well, we can't see his lap times on the monitor at the moment, so it's not clear whether he's holding them up or not. And if he's not holding them up,
well, when you look at it, it doesn't look like he is.
Exactly.
This will be interesting. Bright and Russell Ingall. Now, we saw in race 2 just how dynamic Russell was, coming from 30th to 10th. Now he's all over the back of Jason Bright, but will his tyres hang in? They've been saying after about 6 laps, these Bridgestone control tyres have been going off.
Look at the speed of Jason Bright's car. That definitely is not slow, that stunt on this guy's rocket ship.
Well, Russell Ingall's really on fire. Oh, look at that great shot.
He's also on his 3rd motor.
Looking out the back of Glenn Seaton's car, and Paul Radisich, he's really coming down heavy on the factory XR8 Falcon as they swing through Cat Corner up toward the S's once again. But there's a great battle building up behind them too. It's Lowndes, 4 seconds in front of Seaton, Radisich, Bright, Ingall.
Yes, Longhurst is not holding them up.
No, he's actually...
definitely not, there's no doubt.
Talking with Paul Radisich just earlier, he was very happy with his effort in race 2. I spoke with Lee Geyer, his crew chief, and I said, what did you change, Lee, between qualifying the first race and now? He said, what didn't I change on the car? They've been putting some pretty dramatic changes into that, and obviously it's working. Radisich is going extremely well in 3rd.
Well, I think Jeff Gretsch is going to be on the warpath. The Mobile Holden Racing team manager just had word from the pits. He said Russell definitely served up Scaife, so it's going to be a bit of discussion going on after this race. That's the most polite way I can say it. But this battle continues. Seaton copping plenty of heat from Radisich in the Shell 18 Falcon, taking over where John Bowe left off, and look at how aggressively...
Ingall's passed... yes, got him, look.
So Russell Ingall continues his climb forward. He is up into the top 4. And on his way forward, Bright now back to 5th, Richard 6th, Faulkner in 7th, Crompton 8th, Cameron McLean, top privateer, still in 9th, and Paul Romano in 10th.
Look at the look on Russell's face. He's definitely got a little look in the mirror there, see what's going on. There's quite a lot of room on Jason.
He's really pumped up for a big result because his season has not got off to anything like the start he had in '98. And he really has had some problems here with engines over the weekend.
You can see the mark on the front of, you see on the right-hand side, or the left-hand side of the guy, right side of the screen, you see the little black telltale mark where he gave Scaife bang up the bump.
Plenty of action so far this year. The officials have been very busy from Eastern Creek, Adelaide, and now there'll be more discussions about this round with perhaps future penalties. There's Stephen Richards in the Wins Commodore. A good drive by Stephen so far this weekend, considering that team has had absolutely no testing. Each time they go to a race meeting, they're learning more and more about this brand new VT Commodore. So Fred Gibson very happy with the progress of his two young chargers at the moment, although it's been a very unsatisfying day for Greg Murphy.
You've got to hand it to McLean and Romano. They're 9th and 10th, and look at their lapping, you know, as quick as any of the guys up the front.
Yeah, 59.04 for Lowndes, 59.3 for Cameron McLean. It's a very quick time.
Going, isn't it?
Yeah, he really is. Very quick driver. He's just sitting in that top 10. He said he was going to be expected to be in the top 10 this year, and he's done it straight away.
An interesting combination just outside of the top 10. Garth Tander and Larry Perkins are 11 and 12 after they're coming together in race 2. Larry wasn't very happy. Here is the order as Lowndes flashes through. Tony Longhurst is, of course, a lap down. Seaton is second as Radicic tries to force his way through on the inside, but Seaton wasn't about to let him through. Ingle, Bright, Richards and John Faulkner in the better electrical car doing a great job. Some problems as we have a look back. There's McLean. Garth Tander has worked his way through on Romano. Mark Noski, Larry Perkins, Mark Larkham and Greg Murphy and John Bow. Those two guys there have done a tremendous job from the rear of grid to work their way forward into 14th and 15th position at the moment. That's a great effort.
Craig Lowndes last time around at 59.10, 4.7 seconds the gap back to Glenn Seaton. That tremendous battle for second between Seaton and Radicic. That rejuvenated number 18 Shell Falcon. Ingle behind that battle too. Richards, Bright, Faulkner. Saw a move there. And here he is. Shot of the Wins Commodore at the back of Mark Larkham's right at 10 forward. And look at John Bow now making a real challenge up the inside.
Yeah, Murphy running a bit deep there. He saw him running out a bit wide.
Battle for 15th position.
That's him.
And the Cat Falcon looking strong under brakes. Murphy gives him racing room, so John Bow moves up to 14th.
Greg's trying to hard force the issue on the inside, and he's got there. Greg Murphy and the Wins Commodore on the inside of the Caterpillar Ford. Greg Murphy, some forceful driving there. Not willing to relinquish that position. He wasn't very happy. After yesterday, he had an altercation with John Bow down the back part of the circuit in the basin at Cold Corner, which saw him park the car and was buried in the sand. So that battle will be an interesting one to watch.
Last time around, looked like the bonnet on Mark Larkham's Mitre 10 car was lifting up. Might have been a little bit of trouble there. Look at that, he's fighting the wheel as he comes over the top of Barbagallo corner and dives hard down into Cold Turn. Greg Murphy locked in behind him. This battle, this just shows the quality of this field. This battle for 14th position. There you can see the damage on the front of the car.
Well, from qualifying where we had from 1st to 18th separated by just 9/10ths of a second as we watch Mark Larkham at work. Jason Barbagallo was saying before, I can't handle this. He said it's so hard to comprehend. As Bow looks for an inside run, he said, I'm used to racing in Formula Fords and Formula Holdens and being in the top 2 or 3. And he said, this business about outside of the top 10 is hard to cop.
That was a great shot there. You could just see Bow putting a bit more pressure on Murphy to put a little dent in the back of his bumper. Let him know he's there. Oh, John Bow really pumped up in front of his new home crowd. Bow, of course, driving for the new Caterpillar team.
Let's hope it doesn't happen. It doesn't end the way it did yesterday, because I don't think Greg was too pleased about their coming together yesterday.
Heart rate monitor on Mark Larkham. Peak about 220, so you can see he's working pretty hard in the car. We've seen rates around 150, 160, so that's pretty high.
Yeah. Especially in that part of the track there, very fast, and they come down hard on the brakes into Nova's corner. A little bit of a steep rise as you come into that right-hander, and then drive down hard the main straight. Larkham is chasing Larry Perkins. We're talking about 13th and 14th position there. As we go back up top, Crompton and Faulkner. This is the battle for 6th and 7th. Faulkner holding on to 6th. Crompton, Ford Tickford Racing driver. A big change in terms of Ford Motorsport as well. The previous Motorsport manager, Greg Harbert, moving aside, but still remaining with Ford, and a new general manager for Ford Motorsport, Howard Marsden, makes a return to, we could say, motor racing. Of course, the man very well known for his efforts with Ford in the early 70s and the Nissan program, both here in Australia and in Europe. He's back.
The battle up the front with Seaton and Radish is still going on there. It's still really very, very close together.
John Faulkner in 6th, Crompton trying to take 6th position from the better electrical Commodore driver. Faulkner's been in good form this weekend. Plenty of speed out of the car.
If you have a look at the top 16, 18, you see the names in there. It's so competitive now, and it's quite incredible.
Yep, Scaper's worked his way back to 19th position, so he's inside the top 20, which is a fair effort. Here's Stephen Richards in the wins Commodore. His teammate doing it a little tougher further back in 15th, Greg Murphy. Your race leader, and he looks like keeping a perfect score. Well, you can quite safely say, so long as nothing untoward happens, Lowndes will absolutely breeze this in. Now, don't forget, you can regularly check up on what's happening in the world of V8s by jumping on the net, www.v8supercar.com.au. That is the official V8 Supercar website.
4 laps remaining for our race leader, Lowndes. There's the order. Seaton still defending from Paul Radisich. Russell Engel in 4th position. Then Stevie Richards, car 7 first, the wins Commodores. Faulkner, Crompton, Bright back there in 8th, and McLean doing a great job hanging on to the back of the top 10.
Well, Mark, you speak of a great job. That guy on camera there, Paul Romano, that team have battled for a long time. This year they finally got sponsorship through Siemens Mobiles, which was great, and they changed everything on the car overnight, and now young Paul is showing that he can hold it together for race distance. He had a bit of a shocker in Adelaide at the 500, but he's had a really rewarding weekend this time round.
And that shocker in Adelaide was due to virtually total brake failure, so we couldn't really blame him for that.
Martinoski tucked in behind him in the Holden Young Lions entry in 12th position, so the young guys doing well.
Yeah, Paul has been battling with a lot of unreliability on that car, a lot of very old components on it. They've had a lot of equipment failures and breakages. Like when he came onto the scene a few years ago, he was very, very quick straight out of the box. He's obviously a pretty fast driver, but you've got to have the whole package together. Look at him run down the inside, and Garth Tander.
Tander knows he's got the speed, he's got the straight line speed to duck up the inside, and all the while Mark Noski is just searching and sniffing around in the background trying to get through. You got the 3 older model Commodores there, 22-year-old Garth Tander, a bunch of young guys there, 24-year-old Paul Romano and 24-year-old Mark Noski.
Yeah, Jason Bright must be having some problem because he's lapping a lot slower and he's down in 8th place now.
Barbagallo has recovered after that first corner incident. He's up in the 18th position, just ahead of Mark Scafen and behind Steve Reed. Bauer's still 16, Murphy still 15, Larkin 14, and Larry Perkins 13.
Well, it just shows the topsy-turvy nature of V8 Supercar in 99. Garth Tander absolutely on fire at Eastern Creek, very fast around the streets of Adelaide, now finds himself struggling at the back of the top 10. It's just incredible. Look at Mark Noski down the inside. Paul Romano has no answer for the speed of the Holden Young Lions Commodore. Oh, look at that!
Yeah,
Crompton and Faulkner.
Well, what happened there?
Crompton tried for the inside line, it looked like, and well, there's the end result. John Faulkner and Neil Crompton absolutely beached.
Well,
and going nowhere.
Big brake lock up there turning in. Here's our race leader though. No one's been able to touch this man. 3.9 seconds. He's just holding that buffer. About 4.5 seconds over his pursuers. And once he got in front after that first lap, no one's been able to touch him. Let's have a look at that.
Here. Oh, Neil goes for the inside. No, just locks her up on the rear end. And,
just went in too deep.
Yeah, it was him just went in, you know, with his eyes hanging out of springs, basically. Locked her up, and there's nothing he could do. You know, he hit Faulkner, and I guess once you're all locked up and you're committed, you think, oh no, he's not going to be pleased.
1 lap to go. There you go. The guys are talking. There's no problem.
Well, they know it's not the sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Mark Scaife. He won't be overly pleased with what happened, but he has put in a good drive to work his way back up to 19th. It's not the kind of points that he would be hoping for to come away from Perth, seeing how coming into this round he was outside of the top 10 in something like 12th position. It was a tough day's work at the sensational Adelaide 500 for him. Meanwhile, it's been totally the opposite for his teammate Craig Lowndes. Has been cruising all weekend. Picked up his 6th career pole position and keeps his record intact. He has never been beaten in 9 starts. Here in Western Australia, Craig Lowndes comes. The series leader crosses it up onto the main straight and takes out all 3 races here at Barbagallo. Glenn Seaton, a determined drive. He holds off Paul Radicic for a well-earned 3rd position. That's Radicic's first podium.
Good drive
in 1999, and Russell Ingall, who worked his way up there into 4th. And Stephen Richards in the wins Commodore. Look at this skirmish in the background. Romano got McLean.
Oh, look at it.
And Mark Noske coming in just behind there. So that was a great battle for the minor placings. And Greg Murphy managed to hold out John Bowe for 13th. Bowe finishing back in 14th. But there's the man of the moment. Again, Craig Lowndes. And, well, if you were the other Holden teams or the Ford teams, this...
You've got to hand it to them. I mean, they just are doing a brilliant job, and you're not lucky to win all these races. You're good.
Well, a better showing from the Ford teams today, that's for sure. Mark Larkham finishing the day in 10th position as we have a look at the final placings on your Shell Helix race score. Lowndes, Seaton, Radicic, Ingall, Richards, Jason Bright, who dropped back to 6th. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Tander fought his way forward to 7th, and Romano 8th. That's a good result. McLean, top privateer. Noske, Perkins, Larkham, Murphy and Bowe. Steve Reed in 15th and Barguana 16th. Scaife there in 17th, ahead of Nathan Pretty. We go back to Tony Longhurst in 21st position. Back to wrap it up after this.
Well, welcome back to Barbagallo Raceway in Western Australia. A huge crowd turning out today to watch the V8 Supercars in action, but the Holden Racing team continuing their domination. The 4th win from 4 V8 starts here. But the Fords, I can tell you, are coming back pretty strongly. In 3rd place today, it was a great drive by Jason Bright. Sounds like there's a few Ford fans up there, Jason, cheering you on. You had the win at Bathurst, but now you're developing this new car.
Yeah, we're working on the new car. It's going quite well. We're still living up to our test days are done, so I think we're doing well. We're going to be getting on the podium.
And that race today, I think you had a problem in that 3rd race. It wasn't so much tyres, but more mechanical problems.
Yeah, we've been starting to set up a little bit this weekend, but in that last race, the plug lead something come off and it went on to 10, went on to
It's got a V12.
7 cylinders with about 10 laps to go. So, so we just hung on there and managed to still score a podium.
Congratulations, you've got to keep those points going, don't you? Congratulations, Jason Bright in 3rd place. And as I said, the Fords are coming on strong, and none stronger than this man, Glenn Seaton in the Factory Falcon. Ah, they love that sound out there. The return of the Ford Works team. It's one thing to have a nice name like that, but you've got to put the results on the track, and that car just seems to be getting faster and faster all the time.
You do, Mark, and really it's just a matter of doing a bit more development, and hopefully we can catch the Holdens. But at this stage I'm very happy with the weekend. To come out 2nd and to be up there in the championship is very important, because it's a long year and hopefully we can pull together. But I'm looking forward to Phillip Island. It's my own home test track years ago, or last year. So Rick, I think we should go pretty well there, and also Neil will have his AU there, so that should be great.
But boy, how fast are those mobile Commodores? What do you got to do to close the gap?
Well, probably get rid of them in the first corner would be the best thing, but no. They're doing a sensational job. They are the team at the moment, and really we just got to work harder as the other teams to catch them. And sure, lots of things change in motorsport, so we don't give up till the end.
Well, that's the spirit. Ford coming back in 1999. But the accolades belong to this man. I'd like to call on Ross Brody, the motorsport manager for Shell, to make the presentation to Craig Lowndes, our big winner today. I'll tell you what, Craig, right at the moment, the scorecard for 1999 reads HRT 12, everyone else nil. You blokes have been totally dominant. How can they stop you?
Hopefully, I guess they won't, but really our guys have done a lot of work, thanks to Mobile, Bridgestone and Holden. Obviously, we've done our pre-season testing and it's showing up now.
Can you continue this form at Phillip Island?
Well, we hope so. Obviously, we want to go down and do some more testing and really hopefully continue on our winning way. But obviously, as you said, the Fords are getting faster, and hopefully we can continue at the pace we've got.
Congratulations, Craig Lowndes, winner, absolutely dominant at Barbagallo Raceway this afternoon. This championship's looking very strong for Holden Racing Team.
The kid just doesn't want to let go of that series lead. He's heading for he's well on the way to his third championship from 3 seasons started. Seaton moves from 4th up into 2nd and Bright from 5th up into 3rd. Unfortunate for Greg Murphy, he was the loser today, dropping from 2nd back to 5th. Richards, Noski hangs in there, Perkins, McLean and Mark Scaife bobs up into the top 10 after starting today's round in 12th position. I'm sure that Scaife wants to be a lot higher. Barry Sheen, no stopping Craig Lowndes, but encouraging to see the Fords on the podium.
Oh, it's great, but there's something I've got to say, Lee. You know, I'm really fed up with the officialdom, really, because they haven't got their act together. In Adelaide, as an example, they penalised Gartander for something he didn't do, and it was obvious he didn't do it. Today here, they penalised Scaife for, I was looking out the window, I couldn't see him jump the start. If you look at on the video, you can't see him jump the start. OK, if they've got proof of it, let's have a look at it. But I really believe that the teams and the drivers deserve better. They have to be accountable to stewards, so stewards, etc., should be accountable to the teams.